Hello everyone and welcome back to Nerds Fail Me. My name is Chris Kenner and today we are playing some more StarCraft 2 Direct Strike in my attempts to try and learn to be good at this game. I am playing today as Han and Horner. Now Han and Horner is a Terran commander and has a lot of sort of bizarre foibles about it. Chief among which, in response to something that our dear friend Tuxedo taught, or taught Tuxedo, as he's actually called, because I keep calling him the wrong thing, sorry man, I'm really sorry, I'll get it eventually. He asked, why don't I ever sell units, and is it possible to sell units if I make the wrong choice? It is, but once a unit has spawned, you can't necessarily sell it for 100% of its cost unless you play Han and Horner. They generate these charges of how many units you can sell for a full refund, and it increases over time. So I am going to select a bunch of these guys, and I've placed him in the wrong place. Let's reposition T. I'm just going to click it anyway, but now I know what the shortcut is, and I can get another one in. Let's just overwhelm them with this. So, I have placed a bunch of these Reapers. They're not necessarily very good, but they're there. I'll probably switch those out if I'm not happy with what they're doing. But they do lob these little grenades. But one of the other abilities presented by Han and Horner is this sort of my significant other, because Han and Horner, as you can imagine from the name, is actually two people. Ooh. Oh, do these have the bonus damage to structures? They do. I think. They didn't survive long enough for me to read it properly. Let's have a look. Yeah, D9 charge. I think that only attacks structures. Did not know that, so maybe they are worth keeping. So these you'll see on their name, they all say Han's Forces. I'm just going to put that one there and that one there, and then some more of these along here. And there are other units that are part of Horner's Forces. And if you have the right balance of the two of them, I think these guys gain attack speed based on the number of Horner's units, as does this one. And Horner's units gain health. Oh god, these really do go down like they're nothing though, they've got very little health. So I am feeling the need to switch this up. Let me sell you, and you, G. So I can sell two more of them. And I'm going to replace them with Hellbats, who are a little bit more durable and a lot more aggressive, and I'm also going to upgrade to tier 2. So who else have we got here? We've got a Mecha Baneling, so that is Stepman, and we've got Dragoons, who I think is Artanis, I want to say. And we've got a Zagara, so it's going to be lots of Banelings and Queens. Oof. Not thrilled about having to deal with the Zagara, because Zagara is going to do a lot of damage to my ground units, and it's very difficult to counter with air units. But when I do get air units, I will get some really good air units, but I can't attack these either. Ah! Okay, this is being challenging today. So I want some Deimos Vikings. Deimos Vikings are scary. I'm going to sell you because I can. I've actually got 2 charges. Sell you 2 because I want more Deimos Vikings. In fact, I eventually want all Deimos Vikings. Deimos Vikings are intensely powerful, very scary, and devastating versus ground targets. So I just bought 2 upgrades for them. These Vikings, they will transform between air mode and ground mode. In air mode, they are a devastating anti-air unit. In ground mode, they spray bullets like you would not believe, as we are about to see. Watch them spray little cones of bullets. And that will deal damage to enemies in an area. So I've got these guys tanking on the front line, and these guys behind dealing a lot of damage. And watch them pop straight into the air, and they're able to start laying into these banshees like you wouldn't believe. Deimos Vikings are very powerful. So I can sell some more of these Reapers because I don't need them. And I can I can buy another Viking. And I will continue getting Vikings until I don't want Vikings anymore. Oh, starting to push on the enemy though. But this is the nice thing about Harden Horner. Harden Horner gives you the tools you need to adapt your playstyle without fear of reprisals and of the money that you would have otherwise wasted. Are you going to get up enough? No, I wasn't able to place it. That spawned without that. But look, one of my Deimos Vikings is still alive. So as well as spraying bullets, it also has the tactical jump. So there, you just saw it do it. It will teleport. Ooh. Oh, looks like the enemy's cottoned on and they are building other Vikings. So I'm going to get their other upgrade, which is the Wild Missiles, which deal damage in an area and is devastating. Oh, look at them go down. So my job now, realistically, is to get so many Deimos Vikings that my opponent cannot handle it. I am actually going to get another refinery because I think that this match is going to last long enough for that to be worth it. And the Stepman has gone with Hydras. Unfortunately, the Stepman is very rarely going to face me, otherwise those Hydras might be the answer to the Vikings while they're attacking the air units. Interesting choice. I think it was the right choice, given the circumstances. At the moment, with those Deimos Vikings out, because of how powerful they are and how powerful people know they are, I am the biggest threat. And I'm forcing the enemy to have to deal with these. They can deal with air units that they're almost unbeatable against air units. There are ways to beat them, but you've got to be clever with how you play, which leaves the enemy very little room for error. And against ground units, they deal damage in such a wide area that they are, again, very difficult to deal with. And because of the area of effect damage that they deal, I am able to hit a sort of critical mass with them, where I have so many that they are dealing damage in such a wide area that no individual unit can withstand them. Have I got another? Yeah, I've got another salvage. So Deimos Vikings can get very scary very quickly. I'm going to upgrade my weapons and upgrade my armour when that comes around. There we go. So I'm just a little bit more damaging and a little bit more durable. All these queens count as? They count as armoured units. Interesting. There's another thing to learn. Units can basically be split in between armoured and light, and most units' weapons are super effective against one of those two. I don't know why they're scanning me. I don't have anything that's invisible, but, you know, fair enough. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. You play the way that you want to play. Don't let me dictate how you play the game. So those are going down because they literally cannot attack me. Let's sell another one of you. I can afford another Deimos Viking. And that's got a little while yet before I can salvage another thing. But yeah, Deimos Vikings all the way. It's actually kind of silly. What other units can I get? I can get the Asteria Wraiths, which are similarly powerful but not quite to the level of the Deimos. Look at them just shredding those Zerglings. But there are a lot of these queens. Oh goodness, I need to place another Viking quickly. There. Yay, he's going to spawn now. And I can sell another one of you. And I've nearly gotten rid of all those Reapers. There was a line of Reapers running across the entire front, and they're almost all gone. I've still got Deimos Vikings here, and you can see there was a little grey bar there where they were starting to despawn because they'd been on the field for too long. If a unit survives for a long time, say it's healing up a lot. Oh, we have won. GG. I hadn't gotten even noticing. I think those Artanis units were doing a lot of damage, so let's have a look. Did a decent amount of damage, did not take very good damage though. Those Reapers were not very damage absorbent. This guy, the Stetton guy, couldn't get a lot of grip, bless him. Like, those Banelings are good, but they mean that you don't take a lot of damage, and then anything else you've got isn't living long enough to deal a lot of damage. But still did reasonably well by comparison to our opponents. Goodness, this guy took 40,000 damage. What was that player? That was the... I don't know which character. That would have been the Zagara. Oh, so those queens, they can heal each other, I think. So, that was not a bad game, but a very short game at 10 minutes. So, let's try for a second game. I think the Deimos Vikings are definitely a good choice. Let's go to Arcade, Direct Strike, select 3 vs 3 commanders, auto join. And, ooh, I need to select my commander. There we go. And this is good. I can tell as well, like, these are the actual arrangements that you play in. So, Leggy here will spawn his units first, Tact Atheist will spawn second, and I will spawn third. So I have the most amount of time to place my units at the beginning of the game. And that leaves me much more comfortable to place a refinery first to start getting resources slightly faster, whereas the person spawning first might need to make the decision, depending on who they're playing, to spawn a unit first so that they get the bonus to your income that is gained by holding that middle line and being across on the opponent's side of it. Wow, that loaded a little faster for me that time. But let's see if we can close this game out as quickly as we did the last one. Yeah, that loaded really fast. I think we have a very powerful host on this one. So yeah, you can see I've got nearly 60 seconds left before I spawn. I'm actually going to go with a Hellbat first this time, because they are vastly more durable. They've got 235 health. No native armour, but a lot of health. It's worth noting with these as well, they can freely transform into the Hellions, which is very useful. I'm going to go straight to tier 2. I'm just going to go all Deimos all the time. Let's place down my missile turret. I'm going to place it slightly back so that it can still be taking damage, but oh, our anti-air is on. We've got loads of anti-air, but not a lot else. Oh, and that bunker's going to be a pain to deal with. What do you count as? You count... Oh, no, that's the Marines that come out of it. They count as light. Oh, which is excellent, because this is going to be able to deal a lot of damage to that. Okay. Let's see how we go with this then. So my guys now run across the middle, and I've got the income bonus from that. And he's going to get absolutely slaughtered by that base because he is not enough on his own. But that is about to finish. I have enough resources for a Viking. And there. I have my first Viking already. If I wanted to, I could sell this guy as well. But the other advantage to what I've been doing is that now, if the enemy starts to counter these Deimos Vikings super hard, because of how expensive they are, I can actually replace more of them using this salvage. And I can worry a lot less about the repercussions. Because it's I could sell the whole lot and completely retool my army to cope with what my opponent is putting out. Have we got 2 Stukovs? We do have 2 Stukovs. Oh dear. And I think that is... Is that another Han and Horner? I think we have 2 Stukovs and a Han and Horner going against us. This will be an interesting match. Okay, let's see how my guys do. What? Those have no bonus damage to anything. Oh, and oh no, it's the Hacker that we've got there. Okay. Oh, I see. Those 2 green ones are the Stukov and the pink ones. Wait, do I have another turret? No. It must be Swan that we're facing then. Okay, well let's go with more Deimos and some more Hellbats who aren't here to deal damage but more to soak it up. Are we holding the middle? No. Yeah, these are 2 Swan players. Although this Swan player seems to have more stuff out. Because both of my eyes have gone up to 2 gas. This player has gone up to 3. You, sir, are being greedy. So that money has been spent on those refineries. That's 225 that he spent there that has not been spent on units to defend. So what he gains in resources we may lose in this middle bonus. You do have to be quite careful. Oh dear, that's dealing a lot of damage. And these are armoured, so they will take extra damage from those Ravagers. Let us place more Deimos. More things should beat less things. I'm able to take out their detection there. Oh, my guys go down finally though. But still did a decent amount of damage. I'm starting to claw our way back now. But the Swan player is having to clear up after all this. So that unit has now taken damage that it didn't need to take, although they do regenerate health. And once again this player has more Goliaths, which is dealing with that front line a little bit faster it seems, and is going to be able to wipe this out. Okay, so I've now just gotten enough resources for another Deimos. Let's see what difference we can make here. Can I take out this? Yes. Is it worth getting that upgrade? Yes, extra damage, and then that makes them explode when they die. And now we're starting to get onto these enemies. They're not dealing enough damage to be able to take me out. 3 of my Vikings have survived. And there they go. But this Stukov player has quite a scary army. Oh dear. Not sure how we're going to deal with that. Well, this player seems to be cleaning up reasonably quickly. Do these have extra bonus damage versus armour? No, just got decent damage. Oh, nothing to be sniffed at. I have been too slow to place my next Viking. And I'm actually not using the sell feature here. Ooh, I earned the Goliath skin. I don't think I can use that because I don't have the sort of the paid for version of Direct Strike. There is like a I don't know if it's a subscription or just if you can pay a one-off fee, but you get access to a bunch of like the cosmetic skins and a lot of cool stuff, and it supports the creator, which is really nice. Okay. My Vikings are not surviving quite long enough yet. Let's get the armour upgrade and the weapons upgrade. Maybe that'll make all the difference. Oh, the Stukov wave though. What do these count as? They're armoured. Anti-armour have I got? Maybe Widow Mines? Maybe Widow Mines are the way to go. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Let's place a Widow Mine just to be annoying. Widow Mines are annoying things to deal with. Oh, there is a lot of stuff attacking our base, and that Stukov has tried to regenerate that tower, but it's going to go down. There is too much attacking us there. I'm taking out the aerial things, but these Goliaths will do a lot of damage to my poor Vikings. Not happy. Let's place you there and you there. Maybe these Widow Mines will start making the difference, but I fear that I have made bad decisions, and I fear that this player does not have enough resources yet to be able to compete with our opponents who are getting this bonus. And that is why you should try not to spend too much money on these refineries. We do now have what's known as Defender's Advantage though, in that the units that we spawn will reach this fight much faster than our opponents. It only works as the enemy is pushing, not if the fight is staying in the same place. But it is something to consider. I do want to get more of these Deimos, because if I can get enough of them, they do start dealing the damage that we need. I'm going to get these wildfire missiles. What else do these do? That increases the sentinel missile cooldown, and that increases the range, and it can unburrow and burrow much faster. If I get more of them, I will likely go with that. Yeah, these are going down pretty hard to those Ravagers, but we are fending it off. I don't know what to do here. The Vikings on their own are not strong enough to be able to withstand an awful lot. So they've got 6% life extra based on the number of Hans units. But I don't know what else to really go for. Can I go for another Deimos before that time is up? Probably not. But let's just get it down anyway. There we go. Okay, so what are we going up against? These Goliaths and these Science Vessels. The Science Vessels are a challenge because they heal their friends, they can be very, very dangerous, and whilst the Science Vessels are alive, my Vikings are focused on the air. However, once the Vikings get onto the ground, you see how quickly they wipe out those enemies, because that area of effect damage is hitting so many things at once. Got some siege tanks supporting as well now. Dahaka takes an awful lot of killing though. And these Ravagers are just dealing so much damage. Do I go for Sovereign Battlecruisers? I don't think it would give me the multiple target damage that I need. I need more Deimos, I feel. The Deimos are doing okay. I think I've got enough of those now. Maybe need to focus on some Widow Mines, because adding more Widow Mines will give my units more health. So let's get the Executioner Missiles and the Black Market Launchers, and then once I start investing into them, they will push that much harder. But this is such a fine balancing game now. No, I don't want to scan there. I was going to scan to give these siege tanks extra vision. Siege tanks can shoot far further than they can see. So if you can use a scan to give them that vision, it can really help them. See, the Deimos are surviving now. And I wonder how much of that is a factor of those Widow Mines. Oh, my compatriot was much faster with scanning that burrowed unit. See, this Gary unit is staying alive, but not for very long, and is doing very little to resist Stukov. And this all feeds from that decision that he's got 4 gas now. I know what you're going for, but that one and that one haven't even recouped the cost it was to buy them in the first place. I've not placed my Widow Mines. Blast. Oh dear. This is a difficult matchup, because this one has gone siege tanks, which would be enough if his front line were able to withstand all of the damage that is going on. But they are unfortunately not. Now my Deimos have landed, and they do teleport away, which is very annoying for my opponent. But is it annoying enough? No, I'm getting cleaned up. There's still, this Thor is even still alive. I am ashamed. How much health have I got now? 10% extra health. Let's get both of those upgrades. I need to be more threatening. I've still only got 1 gas as well. But we're not holding on well enough. Do I risk going another gas? After I've got this weapons upgrade, perhaps. Ordinarily I wouldn't get extra gas until we're across the other side, and definitely once we've taken that bunker. But at the moment, the opponent are gaining so much of an advantage that I think we're actually losing out because of how much extra resource they've got. So we've managed to take them out. I've still got Widow Mines alive now. And here's the challenge wave. Can we take down Dahaka? Okay, Dahaka is down. The little Zerglings are going down as well. Scan there to get rid of those. Okay, we're managing to push that back. The refinery is going to be coming up soon, and I'll start getting money from that. The more refineries you have, this one takes 7.5 minutes to pay for itself. But the next one, you can see, takes 10 minutes to pay for itself. It says on the little tooltip just there on the line second from the bottom. Oh, this is scary, but we are back across the opponent's side of the field for the first time in a while. This Swan has gone with more of these science vessels. There's a tactic with Swan where you go almost nothing but science vessels because they're so difficult to kill because they heal each other. It can be really annoying. Let's see, more Widow Mines, I think. More Widow Mines is the appropriate thing. The Widow Mines have been doing me well. Yeah, no, Dahaka just cleaned through several of those all in one go. I'm not sure Widow Mines are our best bet now. I do kind of want a Sovereign Battlecruiser. Let's reposition you back to base so that you can stand in the way of that. Decisions. This is hard to call, and I don't think that I am being the most effective player here. It'd be nice if I could have some aerial Hans units to boost the health of these, because the ground units are just getting cleaned up by Dahaka just making that laser swipe. Dahaka can be a very, very scary thing to fight against. However, my Widow Mines are now going to go up against this wave, which they will be far better against if they don't just get stunned and destroyed. No! And the Thors are sticking around. No, I am not well suited for this. I have so many air units, and the ground units that I do have are not well suited to taking that on. I think we're going to lose this one. After we did so well on the previous one as well. Let's get more of this. And just check on the status of this. Ooh. I think someone may have left. Yes, I think that's Tactical Atheist on our side of the field. Well, that's a shame. They didn't want to stick around for us to lose. I think we've lost this one though. Oh, what a rotten way to end too. But yeah, so that's how Harman Horner plays. The Deimos Vikings are extremely strong. There are a few other units that are good. The Sovereign Battlecruisers particularly can do an awful lot of single target damage, but there were too many individual units that my opponent had for me to be able to use that effectively. Hence I was going for the area of effect Deimos Vikings and the Widow Mines as well. But just I don't think I built quite the right thing to face my opponent. So just because I have the ability to sell, I don't know what I would have sold them for that would have been very good. Maybe for a combination of those two, the Hellbats and the Hellions. Oh, looks like we're going to survive for a few moments. Well, let's see how this goes. I've got 3 seconds till I spawn. And I'm up against this, and someone has scanned. So who did we lose? Oh, we lost the Swan player. It must be frustrating actually to see the enemy Swan deal the damage. Yeah, these infested Diamondbacks were just too damaging against those. Well, good game, guys. They played very well there. I want to see how I did. Not bad for damage and taking, but the Stepman actually did more damage despite spending so much on gas. But you can see how close it is. This player, the Stukov player, took so much to kill. And same with Dahaka, really. And that's where the durability's really won out over the damage that we were dealing. But yeah, that's just the way it goes. Sometimes your combination can just be overruled by just being a bad matchup. Not every commander is equally balanced against every other commander. That's why you need your support of your friends. So thank you guys very much for watching. If you think that there's anything we could have done differently to win that matchup, I'd be very interested to hear from you down below. So hopefully we will see you in the next video. Bye bye.